the worst thing you can do is buy yourself a duplex or a 4-unit building, and then and try to hold on to that. And it may turn out, if you hold on to it long enough and you bought it right, that it's not a pain to own. But most often, the smaller it's kind of like, if you're going to do something, do it and stick with it, and make a plan, and try to stick with that. But be willing to change the plan as well. But smaller quantities are difficult, because if you have a duplex and you got one vacancy, you're 50% occupied, 50% vacant. Well, if you have 100 units and you have 1 unit unoccupied, you're only 1% empty. And it's far easier to adjust and live with the 1% than it is with the 50.
I'm sure the people that are listening think, well, then if you have nothing, if you start with nothing, if you start from zero, what would your advice for, no one can go out and buy I shouldn't say that. Not a lot of people can go out and buy a 100-unit building as their first opportunity or first development. If you give advice to those people, what would the advice be?
I hate when you give me questions that I can't answer smartly. I think what I would try to do is find someone who has money and is willing to go into real estate but doesn't want the headaches of the management, and see if you can join forces. That's what I would recommend.
Similar to what we were talking about yesterday, where you had investors that were essentially hands-off investors.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's not easy to find, because it's very, very difficult to get someone to write a check. They may all talk about it, and they're loving it, and they're, patting each other in the back and saying how much money they're going to make. And then a week later, you say, well, I need that check for $150,000. And they look at you like you got 3 eyes. I mean, it's very difficult to get someone to write a check.